It is the height of the Roaring Twenties. It is a time of unprecedented prosperity, and Mr. Bartholomew Body has accumulated more than his fair share of wealth, most of it earned in an unscrupulous manner. He has stolen, blackmailed, cheated, and lied, and now he's dead. He was murdered somewhere on his multi-million-dollar estate, and because of his misdeeds and shady dealings, he has no small list of enemies. The list has been narrowed down to 12 people who have questionable alibis. All 12 had the means and the motive to commit the crime. When taking a look at the case, there is an extensive list of suspects to consider. First, Miss Gold. Miss Gold has never met a wallet she didn't like, and Mr. Body's was her favorite. Last week, the maid overheard Mr. Body end it with Miss Gold, confessing that he had fallen for another girl. Miss Gold stormed out, screaming about how he would be sorry for the day he rejected her. Next, Madame Plum. She has been Mr. Body's fortune teller and advisor for years. Some find it ironic that Madame Plum predicted Mr. Body's upcoming demise just 2 weeks before his murder. The rich and handsome Benjamin Blue is another suspect. Benjamin Blue has never met a woman he couldn't charm, or a heart he couldn't break. Unfortunately, one of those broken hearts was Miss Gilda Gold, who he dated over a year ago. When he ended it, she left with a secret Mr. Blue wouldn't want anyone else to know. Miss Gold revealed his secret to her next boyfriend, Bartholomew Body. Body has been using the secret and blackmailing Mr. Blue for the past 8 months. Rusty Redmond, the reporter, was paid well by Mr. Body to investigate people of interest and bring the dirt back to Mr. Body. Over the years, he demanded more money for his services, only to have Mr. Body laugh in his face. It's been said that Rusty vowed to turn the tables if it was the last thing he did. Next on our list of suspects is Milo Mustard. Milo is a renowned artist Mr. Body hired to sculpt a life-size statue of him. When the completed statue was revealed, an outraged Mr. Body called his sculpture the work of an overrated amateur. Threats were made, and Milo was escorted off the property, but not before vowing to teach Body a lesson in art appreciation he wouldn't forget. The banker, Oscar Olive, is also known as Mr. Body's trusted business partner. He has helped launder Mr. Body's money for the past decade. Mr. Olive felt business with Mr. Body was becoming too high risk. Body threatened to ruin him and his family when Olive told him he wanted out. Mr. Olive is not the kind of guy you want to threaten. Clyde and Clementine were two con artists madly in love since they were teenagers. For the last 6 months, the duo has been working on a long con against Mr. Body, only to have him smugly confess that he had been onto them since the beginning. The enraged lover's egos couldn't take being mocked. He was just a mark, but now it was personal. Did they get the last laugh? Miss Scarlet knew she was a coveted prize among the eligible bachelors in town. She loved all the benefits of being desired. She had turned down dozens of proposals in her 28 years until Mr. Body came along. His adoration was coated in diamonds and gold, and her heart was sold. The night after he proposed, she discovered him with another woman, Miss Gilda Gold, and Scarlet saw red, blood red. Eliza Black had been a very fortunate widow 3 times over. Though no one could ever prove foul play, after each of her husband's demise, she would take her fortune and move on to a new town, leaving her past behind. Now she had her heart set on Oscar Olive, but Mr. Body had learned of her past and had threatened to tell his business partner everything, unless she could afford the high cost of his silence. Samuel Body is Bartholomew Body's only child. Sammy is known for his silver tongue and his weakness for the ponies. He can usually be found at the local track gambling and drinking away his trust fund. When Mr. Body discovered just how much his reckless son had lost, he froze his trust fund. When cut off, Sammy became enraged. He refused to speak to his father, but it is well known that if Mr. Body died, his son would inherit all. Miss White has been working for Mr. Body for the past 6 years. Though she is not fond of Mr. Body, she has become quite smitten with his associate, Mr. Redmond. She and Rusty plan to marry and start a family of their own, and that costs money. When she learns that Mr. Body refused to give Rusty his well-deserved raise, She swore she would make Mr. Body pay one way or another. Last on our list of suspects, Mr. Tanner. He has worked for Mr. Body for over 25 years. 3 days before Mr. Body was murdered, he fired Mr. Tanner for no reason other than Mr. Body's new fiancée, Miss Scarlett, wished to hire new and younger staff. Mr. Tanner has not even offered severance pay. The butler swore he would not let Mr. Body get away with treating him like this. Unfortunately, Mr. Body's enormous mansion leaves many locations for the murder to occur. As the detective on the case, you must consider all of the following locations: the library, the ballroom, the billiard room, the conservatory, the wine cellar, the lounge, the kitchen, the bedroom, the dining room, or the garden. Multiple weapons have also been recovered on the property. When determining a murder weapon, you must consider all of the following. Did the murder occur with a statue, a rope, a knife, a revolver, a candlestick, an axe, a lead pipe, a tire iron, a wrench, or poison? Now, it is your job to discover who committed the murder, where they did it, and what they did it with. You will do this by searching for cards throughout the house and marking them off your case file. Cards can only be found in the basement, kitchen, or living room. The solution envelope contains the cards with the actual suspect, location, and weapon that were involved in the murder. That means when you find a suspect, a weapon, or location cards, these cards will not be found in the solution envelope, and they can be eliminated as murder possibilities for your file case card. Along the way, you will also find gameplay cards that will allow you to interact with other players in different ways. These cards permit you to see what cards they have and eliminate each from your list. Each card has its own set of rules as described on the card. You may end up doing a little bribery or gambling, or perhaps even a little blackmail. Or you may be the one to act as law enforcement to stop all the shady deals. You never know what cards you'll find, but use these cards wisely and you may be the first to discover the solution to win the game. If you believe you have the solution, grab the Make an Accusation card and record your findings. If you're right, you win. If you're wrong, you're forbidden to make another accusation for 10 minutes. The truth is in the envelope, and the hunt for Mr. Body's murderer is on. Good luck!